So welcome back guys in our second part of Nvme SSD tutorial. Now we are going to make some new ICs. So shift A, add a cube for this one, grab on upon this, scale down, edit mode, and align the geometry like this, extrude extrude and leave, select face select mode, but before press 1, X-ray mode, select the upper side and drag it down. Okay, now extrude on z-axis, select, but before select this side of faces, give a new material and assign the face with new material, name red. Okay, now go to S select mode, select these edges, press Ctrl B to make bevel. Okay, now select and press select and control left click and control left click and control left click and control left click and press Ctrl B to make bevel. Now alt left click, now press N, view and clip start to 0, press N. Now alt left click, shift alt left click and shift alt left click, shift alt left click. Now press Ctrl B to make bevel and leave it here. Now as we all knew, shift T on y-axis, leave here, go to array modifier and press 2 and increase the value for this one. I think decrease the value for this one. Okay, scale on z-axis, leave it here. Okay, now select and apply the modifier. I think material 05. Yes, material 05. Change this one to material 05. Okay, now select and joint and set origin to geometry. Okay, now press 7, X-ray mode and shift T on x-axis, leave this one here, shift D on x-axis, leave this one here, but that one is black. Okay, and this one is red. Rotate on the axis about 90 like this, and one more here, rotate on the axis about 90 like this. So most of work is done here. Let's copy this one here. So as you can see, our most of work is done here, and video tutorial is ending soon. Now press 7 to make some notches around here, like these are. So shift A, add cylinder. Where is cylinder? Cylinder is here. Scale down. Scale, if you didn't see, let's go to wireframe mode. Scale down like this. Now select, press I on keyboard, extrude it down, and alt left click, and press Ctrl B to make bevel. Leave here and shade smooth. Really? Yes, shade smooth. Okay. Leave here. Okay. Looks good. Now copy. Leave here and copy one more time. Leave it here. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, and Shift D. Shift D and Shift D. Now select these cylinders one by one, but leave one and joint. Now go to Nvme, Boolean, and knife tool. Now grab them down. Now this one for Boolean. Oh my god. Select Nvme, Boolean, and take a knife tool and leave here. Okay, most of work is done. Now this time is for save. And now press 7. Let's add some ICs on SSD. So now follow my lead very carefully. Okay, scale. Now press 1, edit mode. Select the upper side and grab it down, and let's make it up. Set origin to geometry and grab them down, grab it up. Okay, now let's select. Now select all the toggles and press Ctrl B to make bevel, and let's make segments around 7. And this one is IC, main IC. Now Shift A, add a cube with a new material, and let's press 7 on the back, and wireframe mode, select, press Ctrl R on here and select this face and grab it up, and alt left click on this one and press Ctrl B and select this one and grab it down, select and select, press Ctrl B. Okay, Ctrl B. Now scale down, and leave it here. Okay, this one is fine. Now let's add an array modifier on this side. Increase the values of count, and it's okay. Now shift D on x-axis, rotate on z-axis about 180 degrees, like this one. Okay, now select both of them and shift D, right click by cancelling the movement, collection and collection 2. Now select apply and apply and joint with origin to geometry. Now let's add an array modifier on here, only 2. Let's set the value. I think these are very big one. I think 2 is enough. But before, let's go to X-ray mode and drag it on x-axis. Okay, now 3. Okay, that's nice. Now shift D on x-axis. Let's just type 1 and leave it here, maybe here, I think here. Okay, now select one of these, shift D on x-axis, leave here, rotate on z-axis about 90 degrees and leave this one here and go to edit mode. I think on this side, edit mode and grab and shift D on, and okay, this one is nice. Okay, as you can see, let's match the position. What's that? Grab and increase the value, and this one is enough. Okay, this one is right. Everything is looks fine. Now there is something wrong. This one, go to edit mode and bring. Okay, now select this IC over this transistor, shift T, duplicate on here and shift T. This one is red, so select the black one. This one is black, on this side and select these transistors. Shift T on Y axis, leave here, and Shift T on X axis, leave them here. Now Shift T on X axis, rotate on Z axis, leave them here. One more time, select these ICs and Shift T to duplicate. One more time, and I think it's looking nice. So now select these dots and copy on Y axis, something like this, and Shift T and leave them here. Now save. So now most of work is done. Now the other thing is we had to make some borders around here, some white borders. So Shift A, add a cube, not Shift A, add a plane. Now select the face of the plane and press I and delete the face. Now as you can see, now give the new material, select and extrude just a little bit. Okay, now press 7, scale and leave here. As you can see, in X-ray mode, grab it down, select this side only, make it thin, okay, looking very nice. Okay, now array modifier on 6 times. Like this. Okay, now Shift T to duplicate on X axis, cancel the array modifier, rotate on Z axis about 90 degree, set origin to geometry, leave it here on the border. Let's match the geometry. Okay, this one is nice. Now Shift T on Y axis, leave here, Shift D and scale on X axis, scale on Y axis. Select this one, Shift T, rotate on Z axis. Yes, I know. Select, select, and select, and select. Now grab on Z axis little bit. Now press 7, Shift T on X axis, leave here, Shift T on X axis, and scale on X axis, scale on Y axis, leave here, select this one, Shift D, duplicate, scale down, Shift D, duplicate, leave, and Shift D, Shift D, and rotate on Z axis about 90. rotate, shift D on x-axis, leave here, and shift D on x-axis, scale on x-axis, scale on y-axis for the big guy. And shift D. So guys, our whole modeling is completed. Now the third part is based on adding a realistic material on this model. So hope you like this modeling. So see you soon in our next part. I think the last one. So stay tuned with me and subscribe the channel, and goodbye guys.